Hey everybody, welcome back to Rocky's Kitchen for another episode. I am of course Rocky, and today we're going to be making one of my favorite meals to eat actually, which is beef tips over rice. Fairly simple recipe, and if you are starting to watch these videos, you'll know I take some shortcuts, man. Like when I do rice, boil in the bag's fine with me. So if you're here looking for the finer culinary, stick to the rule kind of culinary tips, look, we're just a guy that likes to eat and likes rock and roll here, so sometimes we cut corners a little bit. We'll do some boil in the bag rice, but the beef tips with rice recipe we're going to share with you today is an awesome one, and our band shirt for today is Otherwise. Love our boys and Otherwise, man. So hey, kick back, enjoy this video, and cook yourself up some beef tips with rice. It's a great meal. So you want to start with about 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds of beef. Now I like to use round steak because it's very lean. I trim away any of the fat that's on the round steak. You want to cut it into cubes that are about 1 inch long and kind of maybe 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch thick. As in all my videos, you hear a lot of about and approximately because I really don't use much in the way of recipes, although I borrow in a lot of things. So you want to start with about 3 tablespoons of oil and about 1/2 of a sweet onion chopped up into small pieces and saute those. Now you're going to saute these till they're translucent, and you're going to add in some chopped garlic. Suit that to your taste, however garlicky you like your food. I'd estimate mine comes out to about 1/8 of a cup or so. So remember, you got these onions sauteing first because they take a little bit longer to cook, and once they're translucent, meaning you can kind of see through them, you want to add the garlic in there. Next, it's time to start thinking about mixing in the beef. So we're cooking over a medium heat here, and we're going to saute the meat along with the onions and the garlic until the meat is browned. Once the meat's browned, we're going to stir in 1/2 cup of cooking sherry or red wine. I like to use the sherry, but the red wine gives a kind of a rich flavor to this recipe as well. You're just going to pour that right in over the browned beef with the onions and the garlic. Next, we're going to put in about 1.5 cups of water, and we're going to keep this on medium heat. And now we're going to add in some soy sauce and some Worcestershire sauce. And we're talking about 1/4 cup of each. So 1/4 cup of Worcestershire sauce goes in, and then about 1/4 cup of soy sauce. You can do the low sodium kind if you prefer, but I don't add any salt to this recipe, so I just use the regular soy sauce. Stir that in there, and it's time to start simmering. So now we got 2 more things to add. We're going to put in about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. I can be generous with this and go as high as 1 teaspoon of pepper with that as well. And I like a lot of pepper in this recipe. And we're going to stir in. This stuff is wonderful. This is called Wondra Quick Mixing Flour. And it doesn't clump a whole lot when you put it in. Now I just kind of sprinkle some of this stuff over top of the mixture while it's sauteing. If you don't have this great Wondra flour, I recommend you get it. But you can use regular flour too. Put I don't know, about maybe 1 tablespoon or so in some water, mix it up, and stir it in with the mixture. Now we're gonna let this simmer covered for about 30 minutes or so, and stir it every once in a while. I'm showing it uncovered, but you want to cover this while it simmers on low heat. So once it's been simmering about 30 minutes, you're going to take a packet of brown gravy mix it in a cup of water, and stir that up real good. Now we're just going to take that brown gravy mix with water and put it right into the same pan that's been simmering all the way along, and continue to simmer this stuff for about another 30 to 45 minutes. Now while that's cooking, you can go ahead and start getting your rice ready. Now for you purists out there, I'm making this, these are simple recipes for simple folk like myself. You can go ahead and make rice in a rice cooker if you want. It'll work just fine. I'm fine with plain old boil in a bag rice. So we're going to cook this for about 12 minutes. And now that this stuff's been simmering for about 1 hour and 15 minutes, it is done when the mixture starts to look thick, almost like a gravy kind of consistency to it. So all that's left now is to spoon some rice over a plate, grab a nice spoonful of the beef mixture along with a healthy portion of that gravy, pour it over the rice, and enjoy yourself some beef tips over rice. So there it is, man, the locusts in rare form here out at the Mar HQ today. So I hope you enjoyed the recipe for beef tips with rice. Stay tuned to Rocky's Kitchen for all kinds of other things. Sometimes we'll be doing recipes, sometimes we'll be doing tips, sometimes just something interesting going here at the MAR HQ. So I hope you enjoyed this episode of Rocky's Kitchen.